Welcome to the Crazy Drake Podcast Show. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is time to do a weekend update on sports. And today, folks, we're going to talk about the Masters. We're going to start out with this guy, Rory McILroy, back-to-back Masters. He's a winner, winning two in a row. Jack Nicklaus, uh, Nick Faldo, Tiger Woods, and now Roy. And I'll tell you this. I am very impressed by this guy. I think everyone was a little disappointed in Justin Rose. Justin Rose was ahead, and he did something that Greg Norman has done as well, and he fell apart. And he kind of walked right into Roy McIlroy's greatness. Roy just, he made one bad hole. He had a double bogey, and then a couple holes down further, he had another bogey, and it looked like the wheels were falling off, and it looked like Scotty Scheffler was making his comebacks, running into it, and even Scotty Scheffler missed a couple easy putts, and Roy just calm and collective, maintain his mental strength, and then he came back from one stroke down and started taking the lead and ended up winning by two strokes. And that in itself is pretty phenomenal. And you got to remember, Roy McIlroy was he didn't win any majors for 10 years straight, almost 11 years. And he was trying to do the Grand Slam, where you win all four majors, and the Masters was the one that was out of his reach. And last year he finally did it, and it was just kind of really awesome to see. And it's really good for what golf is. I think golf needs a guy like Roy, someone that's not like Tiger Woods. And people say, "Well, that was mean." Tiger Woods is American, and Roy is a Irish guy. But you know what? Golf doesn't need someone that's always kind of lingering and struggling mentally, and he does it to himself. And I'm sorry to say this, folks. Tiger Woods really does it to himself. He really likes to shoot himself in the foot. A lot of people may think that I'm being cruel, but I think that a lot of his mental illness and everything else with it is, you can listen to my podcast about it. I think it will explain my philosophy on Tiger Woods. But we should never take this away from Roy McIlroy, because he did have problems with his marriage a couple years ago, and he got that fixed as if we know it. And people struggle every day in life, and I think Roy's a good example of adversity, of an athlete that had to grow up in his own way, and then he'll explain it someday, maybe when he gets older and has time to. But it's just a phenomenal thing to see Roy make it back to back. It is pretty awesome. I think that's the way we got to lead this on to. I will also like to chit chat about uh, the Red Wings, and I think that the Red Wings did not make the playoffs again. I think the Red Wings are in a stalemate in March. I think they like to get into their own heads about getting to that point and making back to the playoffs. I think that we got a couple of issues with maybe not Stevie Eisenman or the GM or Scott Harris of Detroit Tigers, but I think the common denominator is going to be um, Illich. And I think Illich is going to be someone that's always going to be that sore thumb, because this guy maybe doesn't want to spend a lot of money, and maybe he's trying to put teams together with Detroit Tigers and the Red Wings where he's not spending a lot of money. But I don't know if that's a good thing to say or if that's a bad thing to say, because I'm not part of the Illich family. I don't know them personally, but I just think that In sports, you don't create dynasties to last forever. You're just not going to be able to build that dynasty. And I get it. A lot of people say, what about the Dodgers? Well, Dodgers might be exceptional to the rule because they always have a buttload of money somewhere in their pockets or somewhere deep down where you're not supposed to look at it or see it or know where it's at. But in sports today, you're just not going to get the LA Lakers. You're not going to get the Chicago Bulls. You're not going to get and then the San Antonio Spurs when they won the 5 championships back in the day. But I just think that if if people are going to consider the Red Wings a team to win the Stanley Cup, you're going to have to put guys together real quick, spend a lot of money for those 2 years at the most, and then hopefully that they actually win a Stanley Cup, or maybe they'll get to the Stanley Cup and then lose it. So I just don't think that's the era anymore for sports, and especially the guys that own the teams. I don't think they really care about the idea about these teams. And I think even with Detroit Tigers, you're going to have the problem with Tarek Skubal. What are you going to do if the Tigers are somewhat 500, or maybe let's say maybe this 5 to 7 games above 500, and they're maybe in second place in the MLB uh, uh, baseball, at least in the Central Division or American League. Uh, yeah, what are you going to do? Are you going to give up Tarek Skubal just to get a lot of more prospects, or are you going to keep Tarek Skubal, go for a mediocre pitcher, a mediocre third baseman, just to try to get you over the hump, just to make it to the World Series, and then have to give up Tarek Skubal along the way in the offseason 2026. Also, you have to remember there might be a strike in that same year to be of after the year, so it'll be 2027. They might not be even in baseball that year. So you could be in a double whammy. You can make the playoffs and then still lose Tarek Skubal, or you could miss the playoffs, trade Tarek Skubal, and then what are you going to do? Okay. But I'm going to start talking about the Tigers right now against Miami Marlins. This is the first series that we swept. This is a great series for Detroit to come back from a very bad road trip, even from the Miami, even from the Minnesota Twins. We got swept 4-0 in Minnesota. So uh, that didn't look so good. I will I will say this though. I think there's two things that we should at least give the props to. The one first prop that we should give to is that Kevin McGigo finally hit his home run. And first home run as a Detroit Tigers and as a Major League Baseball hitter. And he hit it off right center field, and it was great. The guy gave the ball back, and the trade off was a jersey. And I think that this kid is really good. Kevin McGonigal is really that good. He has a sense of center to the gravity. He gets low to the ground. He makes great contact. He has great eyes for balls and strikes. He he can probably make it back out of a pitcher's uh, uh, strike zone into a batter's situation. So that's something that it's a really good to see about that. And along the way, Green and Kerry Carpenter and all the other guys, even Cole Keith are hitting the ball real well. So everybody seems to be participating. Javier Baez is playing pretty well for what he's doing. I think there's one thing that Kevin McGonigal might have to work on a little bit is throwing the ball to first baseman to Torkelson. I think he's made a couple mistakes, even at the shortstop or third base position that he plays. But that's something that is going to be a learning curve for him. So maybe that's something to actually think about for Kevin McGonigal. But I also want to congratulate AJ Hinch for winning his 400th game, and it's a feat that you can't much do about it. This guy is just great. I think a lot of people are give him a lot of hard times for his managing style, but it works in Detroit. Would he pick a better starting uh, first 7, 8 games of the season? Yeah, but he's kind of mellow. He keeps the balance of the team. He gets the guys just really just cool and collective, and just be patient about it. And I just think that uh, for him, it's pretty good. I do enjoy his demeanor, his style of baseball. He doesn't push a panic but at all. Um, Going back to Detroit Tiger game against uh, Miami, Keita Montero did an excellent job. 6 hits, 2 hit. I mean, 6 innings, 2 hits, no earned runs, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts, threw 55 strikes out of 80. Um, I think he might be a good pickup for the fact that obviously we've had him for a couple of years, but it's a good guy to have because of Justin Verlander's injury. Again, I tell you the truth, I think that Detroit should kind of lean towards the guys like Keto Montero, much younger, able to stay healthier. I think to expect Justin Verlander to do something great, whatever, I think it's kind of a lost cause in itself. Uh, if you look down here a little bit, Torkelson scored for, I mean, single to have Dingler score. Cole Keith had 2 hits. Dingler had 1 hit, 1 run. Carpenter had 1 hit. Torkelson had 1 hit, like I said, and Baez had a home run. So that's good news that Detroit's batters are making eye contact with the ball. With a Miami Detroit Tiger game with a 6-1 game, uh, Riley Green hit a 3-run home run. Um, Total bases, Detroit had 12. They had 6 hits. I think 5 guys were left on base. Casey Mize pitched a really well game, 5.2 innings, 5 in the third inning, 2/3 innings, 6 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts, and 74 pitches for 48 strikes, ERA at 3.98. Drew Anderson pitched a lot better coming out of the bullpen. A couple times in the Minnesota game, he didn't really do well at all. But he pitched 3 and 1/3 inning, gave up no hits, no earned runs, 2 walks, uh, 39 strikes out of 61. His ERA went back down to about 4.68. I would say that um, there are a couple fielders errors on both sides of the team. And I think that obviously one was Dingler reached first base because the catcher interfered with the batter uh, bat. Uh, Another concern would be McGago throwing error to Torgerson from third to first, shortstop to first. So I think that's a kind of a concern thing right now. I've seen him do that a couple of times. I think that he was on third base a couple games ago, and he did another throwing error. But a lot of times Torgerson, he doesn't finish the catch coming from third or second or wherever it's coming from. So that might be a little concern about the Tigers a little bit. Winston Perez, I think he kind of let the game back into the doors for Miami for a split second. He could have got to the ball in outfield, uh, didn't get to it. The ball went out of bounds for a double, and he's kind of lucky. We got kind of lucky that we didn't give up more than we had to. Let's see. Magago doubled on the third. Perez was out. Magago scores on a Cole Keith doubled. Green doubled and Keith scored to make it 2-0. In the third inning, McGago walked and Dingler, the interference for that in itself. So that's something to be concerned about. In the third inning, McGago walked Dingler. Oh that catcher's interference was a little weird about that. Green hit a 3-run home run with those guys on base. Fourth inning, Detroit. Uh, Hicks uh, uh, scored and Lopez got a double for the Marlins. Um, Hicks also scored off a Norby sacrifice fly. The eighth inning, Detroit Green doubled and Green stole the base. The same inning, and Torkelson hit a single for Green to score to make it uh, 5-1. So, no, 6-1. But I think that the game that people were talking about was obviously Sandy Alcantara. He was pitching pretty well up to the point of playing against Detroit. Detroit came out strong and beat them 8-2 in the last game of the series. Kevin McGago hit his first home run. Like I said, the fan obviously brought the ball down to him and for a jersey and so on. Detroit had 12 hits, 3 home runs, 21 total bases, 7 left on base. 7 seems to be the number. Dingler's home run, Cole Keith and Green scored to make it 3-0. So that was something that was kind of good to see that Detroit got involved right away. They didn't wait for the game to be behind anything else. Well, they gave Turk Skubal enough of a lead, not so that he doesn't have to do everything through 90 pitches. In the fifth inning, McGago home run to right field to make it 4-0. Kerry Comforter home run and Green scored to make it 5-0. 6-0. And then Baez got a single and Torkelson scored to make it 7-0. McGago scored off a thrown arrow to make it 8-2. So Tarek Skubal pitched 2 and thirds inning, to give up 2 hits, 1 earned run, 7 strikeouts, 2 walks. I am a little bit surprised about the Miami Marlins for leaving Sandy Alcantara in the ball game a little bit too long. So I thought they would take him out and not make him suffer. But I think the Miami Marlins did that to protect the bullpen, to give them an extra day off, because I think they were probably assuming that they were not going to score or win at least. One more story I want to talk about is guess we got to talk about some gossip. So I guess the reason why I want to talk about this is because this is about, I don't know, women topic stuff, women issues. Some women are really upset by this because it's Danielle Rossini and Mike Verbal from the New England Patriots were a little fondling each other by the poolside. I guess this becomes a very normal thing for Miss or Mrs. Danielle Rossini to let herself go and express her thoughts and feelings in a physical way, to get a story, to get an inside scoop. And basically, that's what she was doing. A lot of women upset by this because they feel like she set women back 50 years or whatever. I got to tell you one thing, folks. I don't think something's never going to change. I think that, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. Obviously, the both are married, so it can be a good thing. I do know that Miss Rossini or Mrs. Rossini, she has little respect for her husband because she even told people on on an ESPN show that she married down and her husband's not that good looking. And she's also said that she hasn't even told her husband the half things she did in her 20s when she was younger. So she puts it out there that she's not a really great person. And I think that that's what people should be concerned about. I don't think it was really concerned about a scoop in the story, how she did it, because I don't know. I mean, I think people do things to get what they want. Is it right? Is it wrong? You tell me, because I mean, what else are you going to do? I know this. I know this. If you're a guy, you did that to a girl. Let's say the girl's a basketball, football. Let's say the girl's a basketball coach or a baseball coach, and she's very attractive. And then you, as a male announcer, I mean, a journalist, a male journalist, goes to the beachside or lakeside or by the poolside and talk to the woman that they want to talk about and get inside scoop, it would not be acceptable. So, knowing that, take it what you want to do it. I think that people don't really have morals anymore. I don't think that's the big thing anymore, folks. Uh, but if you like listening to this podcast, I got to go, folks. Cheers. It's a bit hard to do this podcast when you work full time. Uh, but if you love this podcast, follow me. Uh, I'm on Spotify, Apple, wherever you can download my podcast. You can watch it on Patreon or YouTube. Anywhere you can go. All right, I'm out of here. Peace, love.